there, and they keep adding trophies. But the good news for them is now they're at the age where they're winning money instead of physical trophies sometimes. So, well, speaking of money, we're getting closer to the money rounds. Not quite there yet.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of money,
oh,
here's Niemann.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone in chess have the nickname Money? Like, that'd be a pretty cool nickname, right? I feel like in sports, people get nicknames like that. I don't think anyone has that here. Also, kind of...
Too few nicknames in chess in general, right?
That is true. That is true. Maybe you can start adding to the list.
Well, I will add that what we've seen on the screen for quite some time, Magnus won his first game of the day, but it's still just 1 out of 2 score because he forfeited his first round by not being here in time.
And the matchups get more difficult for Magnus, right? You win a game, you win 3, then you start playing all these tough grandmasters that are in the field. And this is a matchup of tough grandmasters. So Hans Niemann, he doesn't really need much introduction, but Martyn Kravtsiv, his opponent, does. He's a very strong player from Ukraine. I mean, he knows his openings extremely well. That's why these players are, I would say blitzing, but it's kind of like bullet at the moment, the speed with which they're playing. This is known theoretical territory. So white, if we do a quick material count, has a knight and a bishop that we can see here, and black has an extra rook. So it's a knight and bishop for rook and a couple pawns. That's the key. So when we do the math, that black has 7 pawns to white's 5, it's actually equal material in terms of piece value, but now it's about who can organize their pieces in an effective manner. So black king can now slide up, as it does. The black king is used as a weapon in the endgame, instructive for everyone out there that earlier stages of the game, you keep your king safe and sound, tucked away under the duvet in the corner. In the endgame, you join the forces, you get into the action, and in the future, if white is not careful, I mean, those pawns can start rolling, but that is why this rook and bishop are lined where they are, that black is not able to successfully move pawns just yet. There's Kravtsiv, there's Niemann, and now we have a real battle here where Kravtsiv, he brings his knight back. This is a key concept for everyone, is rerouting your pieces, bringing your piece to the best possible squares, and this e3 square looks very juicy for the knight, and here it comes.
Just wanted to add in a little bit. I know we're digressing a little bit, but Fabian Caruana has beaten Vailly.
Wow.
That is a strong win. He moves to 2.5 out of 3 points. And having played then both Vailly and Hikaru, that's having 2 wins against those guys. In addition, I will add that Sindarov looks like he's really taking hold a little bit of the position against Pragnananda after a crazy opening there.
Wow, a 3rd round victory for Fabian Caruana, and importantly a quick one, right? You conserve some important energy as we get into this candidates tournament. It's still very early. All players will have their chances, but Fabiano jumping out like this knight to e3 to a quick lead, 2.5 out of 3. That's massive. That's really huge.
Magnus Carlsen has not been paired for round 3.
Does that mean that Magnus decided that he only wanted to play 1 game today? He wanted to show his face, and now that he won a game, he's out? Just to get warming up for a Grenke?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, if there is an issue, I'm sure it will be blasted all over social media, as is customary these days. But hopefully, we find out what happened. And for Magnus, of course, we always hope that he's doing well, and he's got a big tournament starting tomorrow, as is Hans, and I'm not sure if Kravtsiv is in that field, but yeah, we see the Fabiano in the ticker there, winning against Weyi. But this game, it's one where my chess brain is swirling with possibility here, and I like what Kravtsiv is doing. He's keeping more pawns on the board. So for everybody keeping track at home, when you have more pawns, it means fewer open files. The black rooks are lacking in opportunity, and this white knight, that's usually a good thing to have a knight in shining armor. It wants to get over here, and that's why Hans finally pushed this pawn up. He says no to the white knight galloping forward. The black king steps to the side. Maybe this next pawn will come. White's pieces are very awkwardly placed all of a sudden. I wouldn't be surprised if Kravtsiv just shuffles back and forth. That was a very risky looking move from Hans, but he's bringing his second pawn forward. Mistakes are happening in this endgame of this stage, but I hate the location. I'm going to turn that yellow, this rook on the corner over here. It's just trapped by its own pieces, and it's not participating. So I think Kravtsiv, he's working diligently, trying to shuffle about, keep about quality on the clock, but he needs to improve the location of his pieces, and I'm not quite sure how he accomplishes that feat because black's pawns are looking mighty steady in the center.
You asked about who was playing in the Grand Cave Freestyle Chess Open now. Just to mention a few here, we have Magnus Carlsen, Vincent Keimer of the Tour of Duda, Dominguez Perez, Hans Niemann, Levon Aronian, Nepomniachtchi, Vacher Lagrave, Nihal Sarin, Paramak Sudlu, Avon Liang, Fedoseev, Tabatabai, Chidamrov. It's an amazing field. Amazing field.
I was wondering when the list would end. I mean, just such a fantastic player after fantastic player. I mean, it promises to be super exciting. I'm really looking forward to watching that. And there's also the freestyle, there's the open classical chess alongside it, which will feature many strong grandmasters as well. But a lot of players in Titled Tuesday, I guess, will take part in that starting tomorrow.
But how lucky are we in chess these days? We have all these guys playing in Titled Tuesday. We have a candidates going on at the same time. And then tomorrow, or 2 days, sorry, we get the most amazing field play in a freestyle tournament. Right now, it is mayhem for those who enjoy watching chess.
Oh, yeah. Every day there's must-watch games, must-watch television, if you will. And I think that for a lot of the fans, you're just treated to such amazing chess day after day, all the time. They're great tournaments. Even those that don't have the implications of a world championship spot on the line, there are so many great events coming up. And, it looks like Arjun Erigaisi, I mentioned his trophy case. He's trying to add another Title Tuesday to his list of accomplishments.
He's also then missed round 1.
Oof. Hans Niemann, though, just in complete control. This game got out of hand. I mean, White's pieces were stuck. Black's pawns started mobilizing. And Kravtsiv knows. Look at him. That's a guy who knows that this game is completely over.
Yeah, but isn't that one of the things that has really defined Hans Niemann's rise to the top as a player lately? That he's become so methodical and stable in the way he's doing things?
It's huge. For any player who, just kind of skyrocketed in their teenage years. And like inertia plays a big part, playing in enough events,
Well, for him, it also was so many out of board or outside of board issues that would affect you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to go through all of what he went through, regardless of anyone's take on it, that's just so much to deal with. And so for Hans, I mean, the way he's been playing over the board has in more measures, a really good word for it. And, he is becoming increasingly principled. He's not taking needless risks. And that's actually what plagues some of these players, is they're playing for victories instead of playing for the best move. And often those two go hand in hand. But if you're playing for result, you're not playing chess, which is a very objective game. And so, Hans gets another victory. He's such an amazing player. And he's just